Hey man, let's be honest. Having a girlfriend today isn't what it used to be. Relationships used to be about partnership, about building something together, about loyalty and trust and shared direction. Today, most of it's about ego, attention, and validation. Love used to mean I choose you, even when it's hard. Now it means I choose you until something better comes along. Modern dating isn't built on connection anymore, it's built on options. And the second you start treating it like it's something sacred, you're the one who gets hurt. Having a girlfriend today is like walking into a psychological battlefield with no armor. Every move you make is being compared, measured, and silently judged. You're not just dating her, you're competing with the invisible army of men in her DMs, her work friends, and the validation she gets from 100 strangers online. You can give her attention, but it'll never be enough, because attention today is infinite. She doesn't crave yours, she craves everyone's, and that's a game you can never win. In the past, loyalty was a woman's pride. Today, it's treated like a burden. Being loyal to one man is seen as settling. Being faithful is boring. And the second she feels slightly dissatisfied, she's already looking for an emotional exit, scrolling through TikToks that tell her she deserves more, talking to her ex for closure, or entertaining attention from men she calls just friends. The modern woman is addicted to the dopamine of newness. And if you're not constantly stimulating that craving, she'll confuse stability for stagnation. Having a girlfriend today means being constantly tested, not out of love, but out of insecurity. She'll create emotional chaos just to feel alive. She'll push you away just to see if you'll chase. She'll flirt with others just to watch your reaction. It's not about you, it's about her control. She wants to feel like she can still affect you, still move you, still hold power. And when you stop reacting, when you grow calm and detached, she calls you distant. But what she really means is, I can't manipulate you anymore. The truth is, modern relationships aren't designed for men to win. The system is rigged, emotionally, socially, even legally. If she cheats, you're blamed for not making her feel seen. If she leaves, you're accused of being too cold. If she stays, you're expected to constantly earn her love through performance. The masculine energy has been demonized while the feminine has been glorified, and any attempt to set boundaries gets labeled as toxic. You can't lead without being called controlling, and you can't care without being called weak. Today, a girlfriend doesn't want to build with you. She wants to benefit from you. She doesn't love you for who you are. She loves what you represent. Your ambition, your lifestyle, your stability. It's all part of the package she wants to enjoy. But the second you stop feeding her emotionally or materially, she's gone. It's not partnership, it's consumption. You're not her partner, you're her emotional subscription service. She'll post quotes about loyalty while keeping backup plans in her DMs. She'll say she wants honesty while hiding half the truth. She'll talk about commitment while secretly fantasizing about what else is out there. It's not that women today can't love, it's that they don't know how. They've been programmed to chase excitement, not depth, to confuse independence with detachment, to value being desired more than being devoted. And here's the harsh reality. Most women today don't even want a relationship. They want the idea of one. They want the pictures, the attention, the validation that comes with saying, I have someone. But when it's time to show up, to communicate, to compromise, to stay when it's uncomfortable, they vanish. Because they were never in love with you. They were in love with how you made them feel about themselves. Having a girlfriend today often means walking on eggshells. You can't say what you truly think because honesty offends. You can't lead because leadership gets called control. You can't disagree because disagreement gets labeled as disrespect. You have to pretend to be something softer, safer, more digestible, until one day you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You start censoring your masculinity to preserve her comfort. And that's when you lose yourself completely. The irony, the same women who say they want a strong man can't handle what comes with him. Boundaries, discipline, focus, self-respect. They want the benefits of a masculine man without the responsibility of being feminine. They want you to lead when it's convenient and follow when it benefits them. But a real man doesn't bend like that. He doesn't sacrifice his peace to keep someone else's chaos entertained. In the modern world, having a girlfriend means you're constantly being watched, not just by her, but by her friends, her followers, her social circle. Every argument becomes a group discussion. Every private detail becomes public commentary. You're not just in a relationship with her, you're in a relationship with her entire audience. And that's why most men today feel emotionally exhausted, because privacy, the sacred ground of intimacy, doesn't exist anymore. The biggest lie sold to men is that being in a relationship makes you whole. But the truth is, most men lose themselves inside one. You start giving, fixing, adapting, until all your energy is spent trying to maintain something that doesn't even feed your soul anymore. You confuse chaos with passion. You mistake her disrespect for love. You start settling for emotional breadcrumbs just to keep the peace. But there is no peace when you're living in her world. Modern relationships are built on insecurity, not intimacy. She doesn't want to be loved. She wants to feel chased. She wants the emotional high of being desired, not the grounded comfort of being cherished. That's why she loses interest the moment you give her stability, because stability exposes her instability, and instead of healing it, she runs straight into another man's attention. So, is having a girlfriend today worth it? Not if it costs you your sanity, not if it drains your energy, not if it makes you doubt your own worth. Because most men aren't looking for chaos, they're looking for peace. But today, peace feels boring to women who are addicted to emotional drama. They don't want calm, they want stimulation. They crave men who confuse them, not men who protect them. You'll notice something. The men who are calm, focused, disciplined, and emotionally grounded rarely chase relationships anymore. They've seen the cost. They know that most women today don't bring peace, they bring tests. And a man who values his focus won't waste energy proving his worth to someone who can't recognize it. He'd rather walk alone in peace than sleep next to chaos disguised as love. That's not bitterness, that's awareness. When a man finally realizes that his time, his energy, and his focus are sacred, he becomes selective. He stops chasing, he starts observing. He understands that a girlfriend isn't supposed to complete him, she's supposed to complement him. But most women today don't want to compliment a man, they want to compete with him, and competition kills polarity. Having a girlfriend today means being judged for your masculinity and punished for your vulnerability. You're too cold if you don't open up, too emotional if you do, too confident if you lead, too insecure if you care. You can't win, because the game isn't about love, it's about leverage. Modern dating has become a negotiation of ego, not a union of souls. And most men are realizing it's just not worth it. You see, a man's purpose used to be clear: to build, to protect, to provide. But now, he's told to apologize for being masculine, to hide his strength, to soften his voice, to tone himself down, and every time he does, he loses a piece of his power. You can't lead a relationship when you've been trained to ask for permission to be yourself. That's why strong men are walking away, not because they hate women, but because they love peace. There's a beauty in solitude that most people don't understand. When you're single, your mind sharpens, your purpose grows, your standards rise. You stop chasing love and start becoming love in the way you live, work, and carry yourself. And ironically, that's when you attract higher quality people. Because when you no longer need someone, your energy shifts from desperation to discipline. Modern love has become a marketplace of performance. Everyone's selling something. An image, a lifestyle, a personality. Authenticity is rare because everyone's too busy curating perfection. And when you try to love someone real, you end up competing with a fantasy they built online. That's why men who choose peace over partnership aren't weak. They're wise. They've seen behind the curtain. So, no, having a girlfriend today isn't worth it if she can't add peace, purpose, and partnership to your life. If you have to beg for respect, walk on eggshells, or constantly prove yourself, it's not love, it's emotional labor disguised as affection. Love shouldn't make you question your worth, it should remind you of it. And if you have to lose yourself to keep her, you've already lost. You want to know what's worth it? Your discipline, your goals, your focus, your peace. The version of you that doesn't need external validation, that's the man who wins. Because when you master solitude, you become immune to manipulation. You stop chasing feminine validation and start attracting feminine respect. And that's when the right woman, the rare one, appears. Not because you need her, but because you're whole without her. The world will call you cold for choosing solitude. They'll say you're avoiding intimacy, that you're afraid of love, But what you're really doing is refusing to settle for dysfunction. You're choosing peace over performance, depth over drama, growth over games, and that's something only a man who's been through chaos will ever understand. One day, when you've built your peace, your focus, your empire, you'll look back and realize why it was never worth it. Because every woman who left, every heartbreak you survived, every storm you endured, it all pushed you closer to mastery. You stopped chasing love and started embodying strength. You learned that true fulfillment doesn't come from being chosen, it comes from choosing yourself. So no, having a girlfriend today isn't worth it, not until the world remembers what love used to mean. But your time, your peace, your purpose, those things always are, because the man who walks alone for a while becomes the man every woman eventually remembers, and by the time they realize what they lost, you'll be long gone, not bitter, not broken, but better. And that, brother, is the quiet power of a man who learned that peace will always be worth more than love in a world that's forgotten what love truly is.